Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. This is Kaizo Kujo. Well, today I want to talk about the One Piece tournament coming up on November 5th. I'm going to be playing in that tournament as well, and I just want to talk about what I think, how I would want to play my deck in that tournament. I can see that last week on the online tournament, the purple deck won with Kaido. Um, but I want to talk about my green deck because that's the deck that I'm going to be playing. First off, I've been enjoying the green deck. It's pretty much the only deck I've played so far besides red. I don't really have a lot of experience playing the other decks, but I have played against them. And I just want to talk about a few things that I noticed while playing. But first off, here's the deck list that I would be playing. And it's a very basic deck. You know, you can't get much variation between the decks because you're just playing with starter decks. If you have two, you have more options. Unfortunately, I have one, so my deck won't be like this. But if I had two decks, these are the cards that I would be playing as four-ofs. The most noticeable cards that I'd want to play as four-ofs would be this Rogue, this Law, this Killer, and Straw Sword. I think Basil Hawkins and Yusta Kid are good at two, mostly because they don't have any counters, and you have very good odds of grabbing them over the turns with Bonnie. For this deck build, I prioritize counter cost because when I play, I exhaust most of my Dawn on my turn, and I usually don't have open Dawn to use the other green event cards to add damage points to my characters. So I prefer to play this way. And I think Straw Sword is a very powerful event card. It can rest any character. That means you can rest your blockers, so you can get past all the blockers, or you can rest the character cards that your opponent have, and you want to kill those characters so they can't be used against you in the future. So the reason I built it like this is because of that, those reasons. I think these a lot of people say you don't need this card as much because you don't want to kill 3 cost or less. I think it's best at 4 because it still has the +1 counter, and that's what I like. When I play, I want every card in my hand to have counter. When I get these guys, Hawkins and Kid, I just want to play them right away because they don't have any counter. I don't want them to be stuck in my hand, so I don't want to have 3, 4 of them and have 8 cards in my hand. That's just Hawkins and Kid. That's why I play them at 2. I think the matchups are very good. I feel if I play against purple, the matchup seems pretty even to me. I just have to get my blockers out at the right time, and I take life early from my opponent and don't give free life to my opponent. That's pretty much all I can say. I mean, that's tips for against most decks right now. I think blue decks have an advantage over the green deck since they can bounce uh, all my big guys. None of these guys have rush. They'll have to wait one turn to even do anything. So whenever I play something, they can bounce everything. I feel like when I'm playing against a blue deck, I just want to spam all my characters, play as many characters as I can, so that on my turn I might have 2 to 3 characters still on the field after they bounce 2 to 3 characters back to my hand. They can't bounce everything, uh, because it costs too much mana for their cards to be used. They need at least 11 mana or Dawn cards to send two cards back to my hand. And against red, you just have to outlast their attacks, target their characters, and try not to give them too many free life cards. And I think you'll have a good time with it. This green deck, if anybody wants to play this green deck, that the way I built it, if you didn't have the same ideas as me, hopefully it looks good. So some tips that I think are good would be displayed here on this board. For an example, I just put Hawkins here to attack, right? Once he has an attack, he has you add 1 Dawn to him and he can attack a character. If he attacks a character, he gets active. He reactivates himself and he can attack again. Now, some people might think that you attack, you get 2 characters out of the way. I think it's good. For instance, if you attack 1 character, restand him, and then you use another character like Kid to attack your opponent's second character. That way, your Hawkins won't be rested and vulnerable to attacks from your opponent the next turn. Now, one thing I do see when I was playing against other players in local tournaments that I went to is that you can see that players are very used to turn like phases, right? You have phases that you play your cards, like a certain type of cards, and then you go to the next phase where you can attack. Where in One Piece, you can attack, use effects, do something else, attack, do something else, and attack again. Now, you can see from like this phasing here, most of the time people want to activate Bonnie. You grab your extra card to your hand. You can play your event card for the turn, then attack. What I've seen is a lot of people, they'll like maybe use Bonnie, and then they'll set up their Dons. They'll move their Dons to all the characters that they have on the board in this way, and then they'll start to do their attacking. Rest, attack here, attack this guy, then attack over here. I think it's pretty obvious what you're gonna do most of the time, but in some extreme cases, it's not. It might not be the best idea to play all your Dawn first and attack, right? Because like let's say you have a Dawn here, they know you're gonna attack for 6,000 or 7,000. You put a Dawn here, then you're gonna attack for 8,000. And you also have 2 Dawn here, so they know you're gonna attack for 8,000 and then restand your kid and attack again. So they know they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attacks coming. So now they can calculate how much damage is this character going to do and this character, and they can see which attack to block and which attack that they know they can't block. For instance, if this kid had 5 dawns on him, he'll be a 10,000 attack. And if you attack with this guy, they know, oh, I'll just let that go because I'm not going to be able to block anything that anyways. So that's another tip that I think is very useful to remember not to place all your dawn right away. You want to play each thing one at a time, so your opponent doesn't know that you're going to play one dawn here. Maybe you might play 2 or 3, and it'll be a surprise to them. The next character, one dawn. So that's one thing that I see a lot of players doing, and I think it would be better if they know that don't do that. Some of you it may be obvious. Some of you, this might be your habit that you do. So I think that's one thing to look out for. And one last thing is, people always forget that utilize your leader as best you can. Let's say you don't have these character cards out, and you want to do some plays. You can attack with your character first and maybe kill one of your opponent's character cards, and then they won't see you attacking one more time or playing another character after you attack with your leader already. Sometimes they may think that you just have one attack and they give you 1 life, and then you can attack with another character and get another life. That might help you in the long some turns. But hopefully we all have fun at this tournament. It'll be my first time in one of these online tournaments, so wish all of us the best of luck, and hopefully one of us can get one of those really, really cool Luffy limited edition cards. But that's all I have to say about this deck and how I think I would play this deck against other players. Well, thanks for listening. I hope I can come out with better One Piece content in the future. And good night.